Welcome to BIS 121. This is we're going to look at a profit model, some two-way analysis sensitivities. It's example 8.13. So they do a one-way, and I'm going to show you the two-way because if you can do the two-way, you can do the one-way. And most of the time, I think it's more beneficial to do the two-way anyways. So what happens is often we want to perform what's called some sensitivity analysis around our data. So here I've taken the profit model, which we've had for a while, where the assumptions are in gray and then the results are in green, the profit that it predicts. So here you have the unit price, the unit cost, our fixed cost, an assumed demand level. Down here, our model just incorporates what our unit price was. Our quantity sold, remember, in this model is the minimum between the quantity produced and demand. So I can't sell more than what my demand is, and I can't sell more than what I produce. So that's why that's the quantity sold. And the revenue in this model is just simply the unit price times the quantity sold. Down here I have my unit costs, my quantity produced, which is an assumption in this model. Up here I have my variable costs, which is, you remember, variable costs are just my unit costs per production times the number of units produced or quantity produced. And then my fixed cost is just based on an assumption. And of course, my profits are nothing more than my total revenue minus my variable costs minus my fixed costs. Well, this is all interesting, and of course you can come in here and you can change your numbers and it'll redo, but you don't really get a picture with this because you have to sort of remember each scenario. You don't get a nice view of all the sensitivities by just the model that we had here. So what over here is a table, and they're very simple to set up. I just put unit price here, and I said 35, 36, and again, you can remember in Excel, once you get a pattern, you can just fill that pattern down, so it makes it very easy. And then over here I did unit costs, and I did 4 scenarios. You could do as many scenarios as you want. Now, this is where it gets very powerful. If I just highlight this area, and then I go up here to data, and I say what if, and I say give me a data table, okay? And it's going to say what are my row inputs? Well, those are my unit costs. And what are my column inputs? Those are my unit price. And I say okay. It automatically gives me this table like this. Now, for those of you economists in the crowd, you'll notice that, obviously we maximize profit where the unit costs are least and the unit price is maximized, in part because we assume demand. Notice there is no demand function in here. So we're assuming the demand is 50,000 regardless of the price. But the point of this model isn't to be perfect in the early sections here, but to give you some idea on how to put this data what if, which is we'll talk about scenario manager, goal seek. We're talking about the data table right now, and it allows you to take 2 separate variables and compare them. And to me, it gives you a very nice chart right here that explains it all. So that's how to do two-way analysis on our profit model utilizing the data table. I think it's very powerful for some sensitivity analysis. Thanks. Any questions? Let me know.